Hello everybody, Bayou Boogeyman here. Um, I bought a mystery CGC box and I pulled a 10. A Mr. Mime Trading Card Classic Hollow from a Blastoise Suicune EX deck. Actually looks pretty cool, right? Look at the some star pattern inside the foil. Very cool card. I was like, okay, this is great. Looks great. It's a 10. Paid 24 bucks. Jump online. They're going like 20 to 25 bucks right now. The point of this video though is look at this. Look, white dot. Pretty big white dot. That's a big white dot in my opinion. Right there. And then that's a pretty big white dot right there in my opinion. Let's see. Right there. It's pretty big. This one's super big, right? Like to me that's a nick. That's not even like, it's just factory cut. That's pretty big. Like I would never look at this card raw, see that, and send in a card at all. I mean, I wouldn't even think, with that one being that big, and those two being visible, that's a 9, in my opinion. So it's kind of got me. Oh, look at that! You can even see. Look at this bin, like the whole lip right there is up. So it's got me thinking. Like I'm about to send out a bunch of cards to I think these are like 28 cards right here. I'm about to send those out to the CGC, I think in 3 days. So it's really got me thinking, like, am I being too strict on what I'm going to send in? So I'm going to show a couple of examples real fast that I've now looked at again, and I'm going to send them in. So, you know, expecting a 9, probably break even, but if they come out as 10s, you know, it's a bigger win for me. And I'm saying that only with the CGC submission because, I don't know, the way the prices reflect, you know, the 10 is like 70% of the value of a PSA 10. So you can look at it as like a 9.5 pretty much. And then, you know, so maybe that's 9.5 quality. You know, that kind of makes sense. So, you know, if you pay for the 10, you look at it as a 9.5, you know, and you're kind of just shooting for the pristine, which holds the premium value over the PSA 10. So the 10 is like a 9.5. So with that mindset, you know, I'm going to show y'all, I opened up, there they are. Opened up a bunch of the 30th anniversary Pikachu collection boxes because I wanted to get these promos graded. I got one back there, a bunch of coins. But I opened up 5 and I got like 3 more sealed behind me. But I was looking at these, and every single one of these, and I'm not going to show you all of them, just trust me. Let's see if I can get this out again. Every single one of them has a white dot somewhere. That's a really good corner. Really good corner. There you go. And see, it's not even a white dot, it's a blue dot. There it is. Yeah, it's part of the card, and you can tell it's like where the factory cut it, and it's just like a tag, like a skin tag of the card. But it's clear damage, right? So this one, oh look, there's a white dot. There it is. Again, nothing super big, smaller than what's in my graded card that we just got. But so I looked at this card and I was like, oh, I'm not going to send it in because of that corner and the white dot. And you know, and then I get this. I literally got this this about an hour ago. I was in Walmart, seen it. The wife pointed it out. We snagged it just to like. I was like, yeah, we're going to lose 15 bucks on it, and we kind of broke even, but only because there's a 10. If you go to eBay right now, there's 50 listings in the last 24 hours. A lot of 9s and 9.5s. I think, thankfully, I got a 10. But it's really got me, like, second guessing some of these. So, like, you know, if this one came back as a, like, I assumed it was a 9. And there's no comps on these yet because they're brand new. But, you know, in a 9, in a promo, a 30th anniversary, I'll probably make 20 bucks. But if it's a 10, you probably make about 50 bucks. And so I wasn't going to send it off because I'm not playing for 20 bucks. I'm playing for more. And but now I'm looking at it again. I'm like, no, I'm definitely sending it off. So let's see. I'm gonna grab my pen again. We're gonna look at this one. Little white speck, smaller than the one in that case. Perfect corner. Little bitty white specks. Little bitty. So this one I looked at. Mind you, I had none of these. The ones I'm showing you now, none of these were in the submission thing. And I looked at this and was like, 2 white specks. that microscopic speck, and then wherever the other one is, that spec. And I was like, yeah, not sending that in. I'm not gonna, fish it for a 10. I'd rather just list it on eBay as, near mint, but there is 2 specs. Don't expect a 10. Buy it, not wanting to grade it. Kind of be transparent about it, whatever. So now that I look back at all these, man, all these are clearly within this 10s range. Now I don't expect any of them to get pristine because, that just counteracts what a pristine means. There's a little lip on that, but I think that's a pretty solid corner, really good corner. There's your one white dot. There's your one white dot. And they're smaller than they look. Like, I mean, I got them zoomed in fully on a 2x lens right now. But yeah, great. I mean, little bitty things. But I wasn't going to send these in. In my opinion, I was like, they're not worth me worrying about the 9s right now. But now I'm going to send them in, worrying about potential 10s. And then so my last video I just posted popped off talking about like how much you would make if you sent in 5 sets of these opposed to 1 PSA card. And also after that video I did some more thinking, and obviously we know that the grading is all subjective. The person, if they're having a good day, their camera lighting, or their experience grader, you throw everything under the sun as to why your card got a 9 and you think it should have got a 10. And then we go online and we look at other comps, and we look at the backs of them, and it's like, oh, there's clear white dots and mine has not. We do all this when it doesn't benefit us. There's very few YouTubers, and I've seen some where they'll, oh boy, will get out he has like a wooden dial, and I can't think of his name, or I'd say it, but he'll like point it out and be like, oh yeah, this one got a pristine, but look at this. And it's like edge whiting down the middle. There's a dent in the corner at the right light. And he's like, yeah, this doesn't deserve a pristine, but it's locked in as a pristine. I'm going to take it. Rarely anybody coping in the reverse. Like, you're coping when you're like, I got an 8 and it should have been a 10. And I got a 4 and I don't see the damage. And, sometimes that's true. Maybe your lighting didn't catch the scratch that, their lighting did. Whatever. So now I'm torn between the coping side, which I don't tend to cope. I'm a very realistic person. But then also of like the being too strict on myself, holding my own standards too high. Like, what if I got this card in as a grader and I looked at it and I was like, white dot, boom, never going to get a 10. And then I'm looking around, I'm like, it's got one more white dot. It's like, but man, that centering is perfect. The back centering is actually perfect. Like, everything else is great about this card, but I'm like, there's a white speck. Yeah, you got a 9, buddy. Or is it within their range of what a 10 is? Maybe their 10 standards are 3 white dots in the corner, as long as they're not on the front, and then the front is perfect, the back is perfect. So maybe it's an average where it's like, this is a 10, the back centering is a 10, the 3 corners are worth a 9.25, so maybe it rounds to a 9.5, or whatever the case is. Everybody has their own rules. So maybe I'm too strict on myself, because maybe some of these cards that I weren't gonna grade, all these are getting sent in, and I'll make a big dedicated video to all the cards and why I think they are what they are. But like all these Japanese cards, I was looking at them and I was being harsh on myself. And this Rose's Encouragement, I was like looking at it, I was like, man, that front is perfect, the back is perfect, and then there was. Let's see. I'm pretty sure this wasn't a pristine condition card, if I remember. I might be lying to y'all. It might be a pristine condition card. That's on the sleeve. There was one of my Japanese cards I was looking at, and I was like, I probably won't send it in because it probably won't be worth. But of course it's gonna be worth. Like the white dot on that thing was so small. Let's see. It might be the Rowlet, because I really love green. Oh, that's plastic. Okay, I don't know. I'm just wasting y'all's time now. But it was one of my cards, and I was like, I'm not gonna turn it in because it's probably not gonna get a 10. But now after seeing this this Mr. Mime get this 10, it kind of re-gives me hope on. Oh, I bet you it's that Probo Pass, because like already it's a card that won't do as well money wise, and then if it's a 9. I'll just be losing money. I think I pulled this Yamper yesterday also. out of one of these collection boxes. And I was like looking at it and I was debating whether it was a 9 or not. It's probably just gonna be a 10, like overthinking it. And kind of the biggest thing about sending these in for the potential 9 to 10s is, I touched on it earlier, but if I'm sending these in, or if I don't send them in because I think they're 9s, then I don't grade them at all. They sell for like $8 online. You could throw in the coin, make it $10 or whatever. So either I can get $10 back, or I can ship them out for CGC 9s, and they're probably worth $40 to $50. So I can make $20, or they're 10s and I can make $80. So it's either take the risk and you still make money. Like these are all 9s, which hopefully they would all be at least 9s. If they're all 9s, you're still up, like 40, 80, like $160. If I sent them off, if I just sold them all with their coins for like $10, I'd make $40. So I'm still up sending them out as 9s. But now if they hit a 10, if 2 of these hit a 10 and they're $100 a piece, well, now I'm dealing with $280 that I wouldn't have made at all if I didn't send them in, at least taking the risk. Now I don't think taking the risk is smart if your 9 price is lower than the raw value of a card. That's not really a risk. That's just a gamble. Like that's a real gamble. But in this situation, this specific situation, I feel like that's a risk worth taking, because the chances of you losing your risk is very minimal. I mean, you would have to not hit the 10, not hit the 9, and then hit the 8. And then even in the 8, you probably break even. I mean, I paid like $17 for the box. I think in every box I got at least one hit. Like, and I'll say like one hit as in like this, the Yamper, which, in themselves are like $4 cards. But in like pristines, they're 110, and 10s are like 70. So like, if one of these cards hit, then it pays for like all 5 boxes. And then all these just become like free profit. This became free profit. I think there was one more card that I hit out of the boxes that I'm going to end up grading. Doesn't matter. But yeah, so you get profit if one of your cards hit right. So that's kind of what I'm shooting for there. But it's, I mean, to just break it down, it's like either I can make $40 just selling those back off with the coins. If they sell, somebody talks me down to $8, you get the picture. Or I could send them in and potentially get more graded slabs for the website. So I think instead of being so harsh on myself and just seeing, oh, white dot, boom, 9, we're not going to send that off, boom, white dot, 9. Instead of it just being a pack fresh minty, which I'm still sending those in because I want pristines. But I think my new standard, my new mental, at least with CGC right now, because I'm going to be using them for the foreseeable future, as we talked about last episode, as we talked about last video. I just, one white dot is still a 10. 2 white dots is still a 10. Maybe 3 white dots is a 10. Maybe dots don't even count. Maybe they're just looking for those nicks. Maybe that nick is what counts. So it's like, there's one there, but then those are just factory print, factory mistakes, which a lot of these are. So like when they're on the corner like this is, that's from the factory. So it gets cut, and then the last piece to touch is the corner there. So the corner little whitening is very common and overlooked quite often. And just to help with a little engagement, like what would you do? What would you do with this exact card here? This exact card has the one white dot there. Oh, backwards. The one white dot there. I mean, I'm talking about a dot. I mean, I'm zoomed in, literally 2x on this lens here. White dot there. That's it. So just 2. You got 2 corner dots. Boom, boom. On a perfectly centered front, perfectly centered back, and 2 white dots. What do you do with the card? Do you send it in? Do you shoot for the pristine? Do you shoot for a 10? Do you shoot for a 9? Do you sell it raw? I'm curious. Got a lot of good engagement on my last video, and people giving their opinions and what they've got on recent submissions and stuff, and I love that, because all that helps me decide what I'm going to do next. Thank you for listening to me rant. I have some Japanese boxes coming in 2 days. Probably be ripping those with some business in the background. So until next time, guys, thanks for watching. The swamp is growing. Don't get lost out there.